Welcome to the Granny Square series. This week we will be making this lovely puffs and popcorn square. And I really like these ones with the circles in the middle. I think they go really nicely together. If you look on my banner on the top of my channel page, there's a lot of them all together, and you'll notice they're all the round ones from the Granny Square series. And that one will fit in nicely with them. So I'm going to do this square now with you in this colour to match the rest of my squares. So let's get started. So just like those squares I just showed you, I'm using the Stone Wash range in Moonstone, and I'm using a 4mm hook, and we're going to start with a double magic circle and chain 1. So for round 1, we're going to make 6 puff stitches with chain 2 spaces between each stitch. And each puff stitch I'm letting go because I don't like to hold the yarn when I'm not using it. It gets a bit hard to work with when using cotton. I just let go if I'm not actually crocheting. So yeah, let's start again. 6 puff stitches with chain 2 spaces between each puff stitch, and we will be making 3 loop puff stitches. Now, I found when I first started making puff stitches that they came up quite big, and so I went down a hook size, and then we pull through all those loops. I like to, oops, I've lost, no, I haven't. I like to give it a little wiggle as I pull through, and then chain 2, and then we're going to repeat 5 more times. 1, 2, 3. You'll notice I kind of pinch the bottom of the stitch as I pull through. Kind of helps. So we're going to make 4 more, and I'll see you at the end of the round. You can press pause if you're making along. So at the end of the round, it should look something like this with 6 stitches, and we're going to pull the circle tight. So just tug on the tail a little bit. Be careful with your yarn, yeah. And then pull the loop that tightened first, and then pull the tail. And this is where you need to be gentle. Sometimes you need to give it a bit of a tug. There we go. Just give that a wiggle. And then we will slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch to join, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space, ready for the next round. So that's how it should look at the end of round 1. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to make 2 puff stitches in each chain 2 space, with a chain 1 space between each puff stitch. So at the end of the round, we'll have 12 puff stitches and 12 chain 1 spaces. So we're going to make that first stitch. Chain 1. And then make your second stitch in that same space. And chain 1, and then we hop across to the next chain 2 space and repeat. So again, if you're making along with me, you can press pause, and I shall see you at the end of the round. So at the end of the round, we're just going to slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch we made, and then slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and there's round 2. So this is basically the same pattern if you wanted to make some of those face scrubbies. I would make 8 stitches in the middle instead of 6 maybe, and you might want to use 4 loops instead of 3 just to make it a bit puffier. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to round 3. So for round 3, we're going to be making a round of popcorn stitches. We will have 12 popcorn stitches with chain 2 spaces between each stitch. So we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to make 4 US doubles, UK trebles, into that chain 1 space. When you've made your 4 stitches, pull the loop, take your hook out, pop it into the first stitch you made, grab the yarn and pull that through. We then pinch them together, yeah, and chain 2. And we're then going to hop across to the next chain 1 space and repeat. So we make 4 stitches, make the loop big, pull your hook out, put your hook into the first stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through and pinch tight, and then chain 2 before hopping across to the next space. And we're just going to go all the way along like so, making a popcorn into each chain 1 space. If you're making along, you can press pause and I shall see you at the end of the round. So at the end of the round, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first popcorn stitch we made, and then slip stitch across into that chain 2 space, and that's how it should look at the end of round 3. So don't worry that it's pulling in at the moment. Yeah, you can see it's kind of pulling in. When we add round 4, it'll pull it all out. Round 4, I'm going to chain 1, and now we're going to square our circle, my favourite bit. So we're going to make, into this chain 2 space, we're going to make 1 US single, UK double, and then 2 half stitches. That's a US double, UK treble. And then the second one. And then we'll hop across, and this is going to be our corner space. So we're going to make 2 US doubles, UK trebles. We will make 1 US treble, UK double treble. Chain 2, and then another US treble, UK double treble. Into the same space still, we make 2 US doubles, UK trebles. So there's 6 spaces, 6 stitches in that 1 chain 2 space. And then we hop across, we make 2 half stitches, half US doubles, half UK trebles, and then a US single, UK double, and that's our repeat. So we're going to go back to the beginning of the round and in the next space start there. Yeah, so you can press pause if you're making along with me, and I will see you at the end of the round. So when we get to the end of the round, we're just going to slip stitch across to join, and there we go. You can give that a block. I think it will want a block with those popcorn stitches, but it comes up cute, doesn't it? Here it is with the other ones. What else have I got in here? Here we go. They look good together, don't they? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.